got one, and it's a big one on the freaking. Look at that.
Do fish get high?
Spotted bass.
Nice. I love that gut.
Christmas, just like all the fishing shows I used to know.
Bro, it's like white fishing. That sounds like really racist. No, that's not snow. That's frost. I'm one step. I've ever told you about my biggest fishing fantasy. So I've always dreamed about it, and I've never done it. I've fished like when there's like ice coming on the water in Wisconsin, like once years ago in the middle of the night actually. But I've always dreamed of fishing in the snow and catching bass. Not just fishing, like that's lame. Like you got to be able to like catch a few bass. But I've always wanted to shoot video and catch a few bass while it's snowing. So I'm kind of on my way here at this rate, dude. It's a whopping 30 degrees this morning. How white everything is. The hunt for spotted bass. Bass after bass after bass. Come on, Mog, let's go. I'm at Smith Lake. This is so crazy. Check out how clear this water is. I haven't fished water like this since I was like with Benjamin up north, since I was in Wisconsin. Like, I'm talking like clear. It makes us Florida boys, when we call clear like 2-3 foot of visibility. I think this is like probably 12. Yeah, look at how clear it is. Like, whoa, dude, that is so freaking clear. But here's what I'm hoping, is clear water, when it gets cold, it tends to not get as cold as fast. It doesn't warm up as fast either. But it also tends to school them up a little bit more. I'm hoping, we've had some really cold weather, hoping this clear water is going to help those fish pod up and at the same time not let the cold take as much of a toll on them. But we're going to approach it. We're going to do what we do and go fishing, boy. Woo. As usual, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Support real fishing, REAL fishing. And check out all our new merch, mikeybalzz fishing, balls on your head, hats, and shirts. The shirts are really cool. The hats I love because they're floral, pattern and that. And they say balls on them, B-A-L-Z-Z. It's all available. Bass Attitude Fishing, links in the description box. You got to get the boat out, get going. Right, Bob? Come here, it's okay. So here's a little quick tip before we get started. As you guys know, I am like new experience here in Alabama. I'm learning from the ground up. And one thing that I'm really used to is utilizing different boat ramps. And you guys all know I used to fish out of a tin boat, a couple different tin boats. And, I never really had a super fast boat. I finally got a glass boat. I could travel a bit. But it was kind of ingrained in me, this approach to fishing some of these bigger lakes. There's literally no reason, unless you're fishing some crazy derby or you don't want to pull out and run around or whatever, to like burn 40,000 gallons of gas running from like 26, 30 miles one end of the lake to the other. Like literally none. And the other thing too is you're never going to be able to fish an entire lake in a day. I don't care who you are, KVD, freaking Mr. Angler, bass fishing. You're not going to do it, dude. Donnie Bass has tried a few times. He's almost fished all of Lake Okeechobee in one day. Ask him about that sometime. That was a hell of a run he made. But in any case, I'm all about segmentation. It makes things more palatable, more digestible. If you take a small piece of something, break it apart, analyze it, you understand it a lot better. And that's what we're doing here. So basically, I've dropped in on different parts of Smith Lake. This is the second part, but literally there's no reason for me to run 5 miles like down a river to get down to this section to then explore another section. I can literally drive an extra 20 minutes to a different boat ramp and try it. It's definitely a safer, more manageable way to approach some of these new lakes. So that's just a quick tip. We need to get out and get fishing. This super clear water is romancing me, dude. I love clear water fishing. I know it's hard, but it's so cool to see them down there. So we got to get rolling. Check out spotted bass. We're in kind of a creek channel. There's a little hip right there, and they're all above the bait. I don't know if we can catch them though. Go. That's a good one too. Nice. Guys, we're basically arcade watching. We're arcade fishing these fish, and they're suspended down there on a just autumn break. That's the first fish of the day. Look at them down there on the graph. You can see them all suspended, and there's a bunch of them. We're gonna get them fired up and get them going. Got one, and it's a big one on the freaking marabou. Oh guys, this is a freaking giant. We're just targeting these suspended fish. Oh, that's a freaking stud, dude. Oh no, he's gonna get me around the thing. Look at that thing, dude. Don't come off. Look at that on the little marabou. Oh, that's a freaking stud, dude. That's my PB spot right there. Guys, that is so awesome. And this is what we're fishing. Freaking crappie fishing. We're gonna do some more of this. See you later. Do fish get high? Sort of the $1 million question, right? So I told you I'd showed it all. Blunders, fails, successes. Today was not the best day, but one thing that I'm learning up here and I'm seeing on these spotted bass lakes like Smith Lake where we're at right now is these fish suspend. They get high. And I gotta send some props to Benjamin Nowak, big smallie guy. Check him out on YouTube. He uses a marabou jig, or it's like a crappie or a speck jig, to catch smallies when the water gets super cold or when they're super finicky. Smith Lake is the embodiment of finicky fish, and they're spotted bass. And ironically, they do some things that are kind of like smallies. They can be highly aggressive, or they can be so annoyed and beat up and pressured that they won't even like look at your bait. Like I'll sit there and stare at them on the graph, like arc after arc after arc, kind of like we did today for a while, and I can't catch them. But back to fish getting high. So what are some things that you can use to target them? Well, the one thing I really want to show you is this marabou jig deal that I was just talking about. This is it. Why is it yellow? Because I'm an idiot and Tackle Warehouse didn't have any white ones when I ordered them ages ago, and I got yellow because I needed a 1/4 ounce. Why so light? 30 feet of water, dude, 1/4 ounce. Well, you're basically fishing it like a hair jig. You're slow reeling it, you're slow rolling it, and then you might let it drop, but never on slack line. You just kind of let it pendulum down. And you don't want it just straight down to the bottom. Like these fish are not that aggressive and they're high up in the water column, so you want the bait to stay in the strike zone. You can tell it's all fluffy and pretty. Here's another trick. As we get into these colder water temps, 50s, 60s, low 60s, not so much upper 60s, but the 50s, 40s even, these fish tend to key in on hard baits. And what's a hard bait? A jig, a crankbait, a jerk bait, like a suspending jerk bait, a spinner bait. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because the soft plastics get kind of hard and they lose their natural look. But when it comes down to it, it's really tough to beat hard baits in winter. I think one of the other things too is when the water's this cold, they're really eating on a reaction strike. They're not just like eating because you're annoying them and stuff like that. It's really kind of a trigger. They're seeing it, and then boom, they click and they go. And that's how we got that bite from that 2.5, 3 pound spot, which is a big spot for out here. And dude, that's my PB. Ow! Get ready, Tackle Warehouse, because I'm probably going to order like 40 more spinning setups because I'm going to need them from out here. This is what we were throwing it on. It's a 6'8" rod. It might be a little bit shorter than what I want. Like usually I'd probably throw it on like a 7 to 7.2, but I didn't have one. You want something that's soft. You want like a medium light action. Probably a drop shot rod would be pretty solid. The biggest key to this presentation though, I know a lot of guys like throwing straight fluorocarbon. When you're doing this, the bites are so subtle and it's dead weight. I highly recommend running braid. This is, I think, Fireline. It's either 14 or 12 pound. The reason I have white, and I've told you this before, is because, not because I'm racist. It seems to be coming in a lot in these videos, isn't it? But it's because you can see the line in the water, and oftentimes you're going to get bites on the fall like we were talking about when the bait's penduluming back down, and you'll see that line just jump, and that white line against just about any water shows up. Like, I can see it. It's pretty obvious. Here's the other trick. You're going to run a fluorocarbon leader. I haven't run 8 pound in ages. and you gotta go light. 6 or 8 pound fluorocarbon, and not like Berkeley Vanish or like some garbage like that. Use some higher end stuff that's super low diameter. Sunline, Seagar, I don't care what you like, but it needs to be low diameter, like decent stuff. But that's your kind of like rig for it. You want that rod to have a soft tip because they really don't tap it. Unless they're highly active and you're finding like a school of fish that's kind of going crazy, you're not gonna get a, it's just going to be dead weight when you're reeling or when it's falling and you start reeling again, and they're going to be on there. The beauty of that, though, is it is an open hook. Now, here's the trick, too. You got to count it down. You can use a 1/1000 count, maybe a little quicker 1/1000 count, and you can count it down to where you need, or you can just put it on the bottom and slow reel it up and use your rod tip to adjust the depth. So the fish are still high. What's one other bait that you can use? You can use a drop shot. I'm not going to show you that. You guys know that. You're all experienced anglers. A drop shot will work, especially if they're like 2 to 3, 2 to 5 foot off the bottom. These fish were not. They were much higher off the bottom, which is what made them super difficult to catch because you have to hit the right water column and present the bait correctly. But one other thing that I did catch one smaller fish on today was just like a little jigging spoon. This one's pretty small, but you can use a jigging spoon. You can use a blade bait. Actually, I got one of those. Just like that. That's a Benjamin Noack special custom blade bait right there. That one I think is like 3/8 or 5/8, something like that. It's a little heavier. But what you can do with that is it allows you to vertically fish, just like what you've seen in like this big spoon videos before, where we're actually like graph fishing, we're video game fishing. Some fish are schooling out there. Now they're really high. They're so high they're on top. This spoon allows you to fish vertically, and basically you can get right over them, drop down to the depth, and then just jerk it up. And it's all reaction strike. The bait goes up on the jerk, and then you let it on slack line and it'll flutter down. It looks a lot like a dying shad or some kind of dying kind of minnow like that. Especially in these colder water temps, that's how the bait tends to look. It tends to die. If you can get a good shad kill or shad die, like if you hit it just right, you can freaking wax them, dude. Like, there's a lot of bait, and it's tough to get them to bite, like with all the bait around, but it's a great way to catch them when it's like that. But suspended fish getting high, little spoon, little jigging spoon, or that, I highly recommend that marabou jig thing. It's like fishing a swim bait. You can jerk it up and fish it vertically and stuff like that, but like honestly, not many people throw it out there and cast and slow roll it and fish it like a hair jig and then let it pendulum down on taut line, and it gets bigger bites. Might not get a lot of bites, but it gets bigger bites, and it's a good way to tack on those schools. And obviously, we had a yellow one. I should have a white one, but color I don't think matters too much. It's more the presentation. So for all you guys who thought I was going to pull a bong out of my rod locker and literally get a fish high, I apologize. Clickbait life. You have to understand, sometimes I got to get you over to watch videos and get others to watch the videos. But no, we are not going to get a fish stoned. Yet. Until that appropriate time comes when they legalize marijuana in Alabama, however, we're going to have to wait on that. So, as usual, guys, please like, please subscribe, please buy these hats that say balls. Put balls on your head. There's shirts, too, all available at Bass Attitude. Dude, they are absolutely sick. Performance shirts, killer floral hats. Play the role, support the channel. But we're going to check out because it's about to get dark and super cold. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed hanging out with you as usual. Try some of those baits when fish get high. Still not going to pull a bong out. And still no bong. Come see me again. We're checking out Tight Lines. Peace.
Yeah.